And perhaps you can tell me what that's like to feel that, because I'd like to get a little bit of feedback about what that's like, having your arm in trance, as it were. This is another one which is kind of interesting because, you see, my hand, it may look like an ordinary hand to you, but actually this hand has a trance inside of it. Inside of this little beak, sort of, I do a bit of Tai Chi, and there's this thing called single whip, and they say that there's like a balloon inside of your hand when you do single whip, and the big hand, well, inside of this little balloon inside my hand is a trance. So it looks like an ordinary balloon, it looks like an ordinary hand, but in fact there's an invisible balloon inside of it, and it's got a trance inside of it. So I want you to allow your imagination to go wild and enjoy the feeling of my hand opening up, creating a trance for you, because this trance is going to migrate from my hand and blow right up into a trance that can envelop your whole self. So as I open my hand, little by little, more and more and more of the trance is coming out. And the more and more of that trance is coming out, the bigger and bigger the balloon is getting. And the more and more you're beginning to feel yourself going into a wonderful state of relaxation. And just allowing that to open right up. Allowing yourself to go into a wonderful state. That's right. Just like that. Just like that. That's right. Staying wonderfully relaxed and wonderfully stable as you enjoy the feeling of being in a place where you can really enjoy the feelings that you have. And when you're ready, having taken that experience and that relaxation and gone into it as much as you want, and perhaps even beginning to open up your inner mind and finding the wonderful things that are in your inner mind, the abilities and skills you already have, you can bring back with you whatever you find and enjoy the feeling of coming back into the room, fully awake and aware. There's a famous guy called Milton Erickson. He was a very famous hypnotist, and we do a lot of things called, the style of hypnosis that I mostly do is something called Ericksonian hypnosis. Now, what we're doing here and now is this is not really Ericksonian hypnosis, but there is a famous induction that he did, which was called the handshake induction. So, in the same way as I just took your hand earlier, with his handshake induction, what he did was so something like this. So, and if you just take your hand and notice that there's a nice catalepsy beginning to form in your hand, as your hand, if you look at your hand and keep looking at it and notice the changing focus of your eyes, then you'll begin to notice that your hand and arm are beginning to form a wonderful state of relaxed locking. They're just locking up nicely so that your wrist is locking, your elbow's locking, your shoulder's locking, but it's in a nice, wonderful, relaxed way. And perhaps you can tell me what that's like to feel that, because I'd like to get a little bit of feedback about what that's like, having your arm in trance, as it were.
Feels light, but solid.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, isn't it?
At the same time, yeah.
So it's wonderfully solid, and you can feel that solidity going into your fingers and coming all the way down your arm, through your elbow, into your shoulder. And just allow that solidity to come back up your shoulder. And the solidity can stay there, but the trance continues to move up into the rest of your mind and body, so that the rest of your mind and body begins to go into a deeper and deeper state of distorted, of a new reality, really. It's not even a distorted reality, but a new reality. A reality where your eyes are open and yet you're in trance. You're in a wonderful state, a wonderful altered state, where you can begin to enjoy the feeling of relaxation beginning to move back down your arm, and your shoulder unlocking, your elbow unlocking, just gradually unlocking. A little bit of magic dust. We'll put a little bit of magic dust on you. Just allow that to unlock and unlock and unlock. And just relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. As you go deeper and deeper into trance. Now. Just go into that place where you can begin to feel relaxation all throughout your mind and all throughout your body. And when you're in that place of deep relaxation and calm and wonder, where you can begin to see the things that you haven't seen before and really begin to open up the possibilities, then you can begin to see in front of you all of the different things that you could do with all these different things that you're beginning to move into. And because all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, this isn't just something that we can do together today. This is something that these are states that you can begin to access for yourself. You can begin to go back into places and times and bring forth from those places and times all the good things, and only the good things of all the places and times that you've had in your life. And won't that be amazing to be able to just, whenever you're ready to start accessing all of the resources that you have from any time in your life, when you just get a quiet moment here or there, and whatever time and place you go into, where you can access only the good things, you can begin to bring those good things into your mind and body, and bring them out into your day, so that you can enjoy the feelings that you can begin to create. And one of the really interesting things about feelings is, since they are feelings in the body, they move through the body in a particular way. They begin in a place and they end in a place. And if you can find out wherever those feelings begin and end, then you know how to make them stay around for a long time. And I'll explain to you how. I want you to go and find yourself a really good feeling, one that you really, really enjoy feeling. Go into a memory where you've really enjoyed yourself. Find a really good feeling. That's it. That's right. That's right. And I want you to notice where that feeling begins in your body. Where it begins in your mind and body. Where it begins in your mind and body. And then I want you to go through until you get to the end of the feeling and notice where it ends. And wherever it begins and wherever it ends is great, because when you get to the end of the feeling, you can just go right back to the beginning again and start it all over again, so that you begin to loop the feeling around and around and around. And when you begin to loop the feeling around and around and around, the faster you loop it, what begins to happen? The faster you loop that feeling, what do you notice? Whatever you notice is for you to notice, and you can tell me about it when we come back out. But in a moment, I'm going to get you to bring with you that experience and enjoy the feeling coming when you're ready out into complete waking consciousness, allowing that feeling to move through you as much as you want, and allowing yourself to really enjoy the feeling, staying as stable and as unconcerned, and enjoying all that you can.